See, over here I can share. I can't share over there. All right, welcome on in. Don't forget to send your heart me if you're a member of my team over here. All right, I appreciate you. All right, thank you so much for sending the heart me's. All right. Y'all make sure you share and like and comment so that this can go to your people as well, okay? So show people who you are following. All right. Mm. All right, y'all. Let's get those likes up in here so we can get some more folks in here. We're going to get started in a few minutes, y'all, okay? We left off on page 82, and I believe I still had a little bit more to read on page 82, okay? I may not have, but I'm going to read Overcoming the Terrains again, even if I did. And then we're going to start on the wisdom and rewards we gain along the way, okay? And that starts on page 83. I hope that you guys are happy, safe, and peaceful. I'm just like really relaxed this morning. I don't know how y'all are feeling today. Please let me know in the comments what's going on with everybody. Number 7, as I look up, okay? Let's get them likes up so we can get some more energy in here. I done sent it out and shared. Thank you for sharing my live. All right, I can share over here. People actually get it. Stormy outside, but chill inside. Very peaceful. Nice. Nice, nice. That's good to know. All right, I'm sorry I can't offer y'all any background music. Like I said, my electronics is doing what they do. When it comes to this Mercury retrograde, I have no idea what's going on. Neither one of them, the iPad or the computer, will they're linked to the internet, but the computer won't even play sound now. I don't know what in the world. Okay, and this will go to the daggone Apple Music thing, but it won't let me play anything. So Mercury retrograde in full effect. Okay, so y'all just gonna have to listen to me talk. Okay, work has been irritated. Tornadoes came through here and network issues. I told y'all storms came out my deck the other day. Storms came out my deck the other day. So yeah, it's coming. They're coming through. It is that season too. All right. We had some rain the other night unexpectedly. It's really chilly here today. So we were supposed to get some warmer weather, but it didn't warm up like they said it would. Okay. And this thing is connected to the internet, but it don't want to play no music. I don't know what that's all about. All right. We're going to let it do its thing. Apparently, it won't even show me my library, but apparently it's connected to the internet. So I don't know, y'all, what's going on with this atmosphere, okay? I'm sorry that work has been rough today. Hopefully it will get better as the day goes on. And if not, know that in a few hours, it may not seem like a few, but you'll be going home and you'll be able to shake off this day, okay? Try not to take that energy with you home. Leave it outside the door before you get in your car. Because you take it in the car, you're going to be taking it on home with you. Okay? Try to leave it. Try to leave it. Okay? Thank y'all for coming on over. 1313 when I looked up. So that's good energy coming on up in here. Okay? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining my team and sending your heart me, okay? We're going to get into it today, you guys. The next time we come on, well, will be Sunday. And it's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? I appreciate y'all supporting me. Trust me, I really do. I feel like you guys will enjoy the different themes that we're going to be having over here on Social Seeds, okay? What was I saying? We're going to get into this book. The next book, like I said, is going to be Billionaire Aura on Sunday. That's what I was saying. Tammy Overholt. On here, she is at Trusting Tammy with an IE. And she talks about different energies when it comes to lifting your vibration and understanding yourself. She's also a spiritual coach. She does have a book out called Billionaire Aura, and we're going to be going over that. It's an e-book, so it will be available for purchase as well. I will have all that information when I start advertising her. I've been waiting for her to get me some pictures, but I feel like it's the damn retrograde that's messing with both of us. But I did advertise that we will be live April 6th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure that y'all come on Sunday. It is 9 p.m. because she's 3 hours from me. So that was the perfect timing for her. That's what I got to do. All right, y'all? So hopefully y'all will still be up and awake on Sunday at 9 p.m. All right. We're going to get into our book, Vibrate Higher Daily. Even if you guys get the book after we're done with reading it and doing the self-reflection questions, I still feel like it's very important for you to get the book, okay? It's very important. I feel like it will allow you to see things from a different perspective when you really dive into this book, okay? We're going to start reading it again. Again, we're on page 82. I'm going to read the Overcoming the Terrains part, and then we're going to go into a new chapter, okay, you guys? Again, sorry that I can't get the music going. I have no idea what's going on with the internet. Like I said, it's Mercury retrograde. There's nothing we can do about the electronics acting up, okay? Grand Rising, Grand Rising, thank you so much for joining my team and sending me the heart me's, okay? You're at work this morning. Okay, good. Thank you so much for the follows as well. All right, so here we go. Vibrate Higher Daily by Lailah, Delia. All right, again, get the book because you guys won't regret it, okay? Good, good. I'm glad you are. Hey, Leah. Thank you so much for the compliment. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Michelle, I think I received an email from you. I did respond back, but you didn't respond. But I'm assuming that we're on two different time frames since you're saying afternoon and it's morning here. Okay? Get back to me on email, okay? I'll be sure to get back to you as well. Overcoming the terrains. When you're growing into higher vibrations, your ability to overcome metaphorical terrains and weather becomes a spiritual art. You'll become more and more skilled and masterful. No longer will you be defeated by what comes. You'll know it's a sacred and positive process that you're called to journey through. This is essential on the journey, and it makes all the difference between feeling overwhelmed versus feeling like all is in the divine order and you're more than capable. Please FYP this, y'all. You'll remember you're the hero. You'll be more and more poised and in your power. We're each here to prevail over the terrains of our lives, in spite of it all, and to accomplish what we're sent to do. Vibrating higher is how we do it. Apply and integrate all the necessary tools that you learn along the way. When you find yourself journeying through a metaphorical terrain or weather, know that it's only temporary. It's an invitation to vibrating higher daily, and each is a gateway on initiation process for transformation, elevation, fortification, and higher purpose. Whatever terrain you're currently in, see it as a sacred place, a strengthening place, a resting place. Rest into the process and honor what it has come to do for you. Now we're going to get into the wisdom and rewards we gain along the way. It's on page 83. Okay, for those of you who are following along, thank you so much for FYPing this. Okay. Vibration instead of gratification. We cross emotional mountains, oceans, and deserts to come back to ourselves, back to a place to recognize what matters to us. In the end, we let go of the need for instant gratification and embrace something deeper and more lasting. That's why I always say the whole anything fast won't last. So sometimes when we're rushing something or we want something to rush, we need to understand that that's the old us. Okay, that's a part of our old cycle. And we need to let that go and stop trying to rush something that God is clearly doing a work in you. You never know who you have to meet or come across on a journey. And sometimes the timing is when you get to a place and they get to a certain place and then God lets you meet, okay? So understand that when you want something to go faster, it's not about you. It's about stuff being in divine timing, because you need to maybe grow to a certain point, and someone that you're meeting or something that you're dealing with could need to grow to a certain point, okay? Grand rising, okay? For much of my life, I chose food, entertainment, relationship, and experiences that gratified me on one level, but ultimately lowered my vibration on another. My kitchen was junk food central. I loved a good toxic television show or a movie. I could repeat every last lyric of my once favorite, but not too offensive, rap songs, and unfulfilling relationships, friendships, and toxic relationships were my daily reality. Extra thanks to the divine for this transformation. I was going along with what I figured was right for me at the time, while also knowing it wasn't right for me in the long run. This is how most of the modern world around us is set up. Gratification instead of vibration. What would the world look like if we lived the reverse? Vibration instead of gratification. If you think about it, we would be a better off nation. We would be a better off world if we looked deeper into what the future could hold for us. And the problem is that we've become this microwave world where we want stuff in 30 seconds. We want stuff in a minute or two. And where does that get you? Okay, with junk. Okay, I hate the microwave, but if I have to use it, which is where I am right now, I'll use it and make do. But understanding that food that you can pop in the microwave or repop, it don't never taste the same. Okay, first of all, ain't no real food that you can really cook in the microwave and it come out good, for you. So think about that. Sometimes, but that's why you get the slow cooker. I love me a slow cooker. I should get me a slow cooker while I'm in here. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. The slow cooker, okay? It takes hours for that food to get just right, and most of the time it's so good when you take it out that slow cooker, okay? Like all the juices have gotten where they need to go. All the seasonings have gotten with it, and it takes its time. It takes its time to cook it. That's about this vibration instead of gratification energy, okay? Definitely. It's just not a good thing. Like, how did they create something to make something warm up so fast? Okay? Think about what's going on inside of that. And it does warm from the inside out. But still, it's just not a good thing to have. They even tell you the microwaves are not good for us. Okay? If we aren't careful, gratification can give us a false sense of something being right for us, or it can make us feel unfulfilled, but only on a surface level, leaving the deeper parts of us malnourished. The allure of gratification often leads us to living an impulsive life, not an intentional one. And the thing about vibration and raising your vibration is so that you're doing things intentionally. You're thinking about, what am I putting in my body? You're thinking about your routine. In the morning, you get up, and it's not just rush into something. You get up, even if you got to get up a little earlier. Thank Spirit for waking your ass up, okay? If you're not, if you're new here, welcome, welcome. I do curse. You might not like that. You might want to move on, okay? But also connecting with Spirit. 5, 10, 15, 20, however many minutes you are able to do it. The longer you connect with Spirit, the better your day is going to come out. Be intentional about connecting with God, Spirit, Source, Buddha, Allah, whoever you serve. First thing in the morning. I promise you your day will go better. I promise you it will, okay? And things will come out of nowhere for you. Things will be made more clear to you. Your path will be made clear to you, okay? And if we are not living an intentional life, we aren't living towards our higher potential. Higher potential is real and lasting gratification. Not living in the direction of our higher potential causes the opposite of gratification, disappointment. This is how things can appear right for us and then leave us feeling unfulfilled once the confetti settles. It's just like, when, okay, you have a weakness for a certain kind of food, okay? And then putting it in your home, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to eat that, even though first of all, it's probably not good for you. Like she was saying, her refrigerator was full of junk, okay? Her house was full of junk when she was low vibing. If you know that that's your weakness, why are you going to put it right where you can just walk to and pick it up? You have to be more intentional when you're changing your vibration. You do have to watch the foods that you eat. You do have to watch the places that you go, okay? Because you're being more intentional. You got to watch what you're watching, what you're hearing, what you're listening to, okay? All of that could put a vibration in you to lower it, okay? So being intentional is not just about getting that, if you need to have it, like I understand, because chocolate is my weakness, but I'm doing really good on it. I haven't really bought a chocolate bar maybe the last 4 months, okay? I've craved something, but I get me a piece of dark chocolate, and I just, would munch on that. But I don't do it anymore. Like, I've stopped buying chocolate. I've intentionally did that because I told myself I gotta stop my chocolate craving. I gotta stop that, because I'm at a space where I want to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain time, and I was at 179 when I first started talking to y'all about where I wanted to be. I'm down to 172, but it's because I've been intentional and watching what I'm putting in my mouth when I exercise, when I stretch, and all that stuff, okay? If you are being intentional, like not just doing stuff because you're used to doing it, okay? Really, when you go into that grocery store, either have a list, which never really worked for me. I still got stuff off the list that I would see it, but when you start vibing higher, first of all, you're going to go to a different grocery store. You're not going to go to the one that has all that fucking junk and sugar and carbs just everywhere around the store. And if you do, just remember to stick to the outside. Because in the aisles is where the carbs and the sugar is. Okay? Remember to stick to the outside. The produce. Okay? The frozen. Whatever you need from what you stick to the outside. Focus on that. When you go into a grocery store, look how they have it set up. Okay? And when you start going down them aisles, that's when all the chemicals, the preservatives, and all that stuff that you don't need in your body is. That's where all that stuff is, okay? You got to keep them from doing that, okay? Thank you so much for the follows, y'all, okay? So just remember, be intentional. It's not about that gratification, that instant gratification that you want. What do you want long term? And that's in all areas of your life, mind, body, and spirit. Where are you trying to be? Are you trying to get a car? Are you trying to get a home? Are you trying to get new furniture? What are you trying to get to? Or do you need to pay off a certain bill, or do you want to start working on your credit? You need to sit down with your bills then and go over every month what you need to put out and what can you put towards that credit. What are you trying to do? Make it intentional with all areas of your life. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, so what you going to cut back on? How often more are you going to start exercising? Or when can you fit it into your schedule? And make yourself a priority, because a lot of the time that's the problem. Being intentional with ourselves, with our life, because if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Okay? All right, let's move on. A point came in my journey where this stopped being okay with my spirit. I was over and done with living a life distracted by confetti. And that is this, if you think something's gold, something's glittering over there, and you're like, what is that over there? Okay, eyes getting all big and stuff like that, because you see something shiny. Okay, she's saying at a point came in my journey where this stopped being okay with my spirit. I was over and done with living a life distracted by confetti. And if there was going to be confetti, I wanted to feel just as fulfilled after it settled and was swept away. That goes with people too, okay? What kind of people are you bringing into your life? Are they the type that, they're all hyped for you when you got good shit going on, but are they hyping you up when you feeling down? When they see you at your lowest, are they like, hey, come on out of that energy. Let's go do something. Let's go for a walk. Let's go listen to some live music or something. Are they doing that? Or do they leave you high and dry? Your phone ain't ringing or whatever. Okay? Watch that. Confetti. Okay? There was a time during my 20s when I would play small and dim my light. I do this so the people around me would feel comfortable in some way or another. I've done that too, okay? And for a time, I'd feel a false sense of belonging and acceptance, the gratification thing. But living from this vibration, although it gratified me, was doing the opposite in my soul. It was lowering my vibration. As I continued giving my power away, I was attracting more low vibrational experiences, people, and relationships. And that's the unharmonious and problematic thing about false or instant gratification. There's a question here that says, how can something be pleasurable and yet no good for us at times, leaving us worse off and empty? That's that daggone chocolate that I was talking about, that I had to let it go. Okay, because I knew that the chocolate was my weakness, and so I needed to be able to stop doing that. Okay, so I don't even go into that section. Okay, in the store, I don't even do that. I don't put myself through that. Even if I see it out now, it's like it don't even faze me anymore. Okay, so you have to be intentional about what you're trying to do, and what I was trying to do was to be healthier for me. Okay, we got during that time I was living life at a low altitude and experienced much turbulence. Let me keep an eye on the time. All right, we got 30 minutes. As a result, during that time, I was living life at a low altitude and experienced much turbulence as a result. Think about air travel. Planes that travel a short distance fly low, and as a result, they experience more turbulence. Making the journey is unpleasant and even distressing. It really is. On the other hand, planes that fly a longer distance fly high above the turbulence. They still get it, but not as much. resulting in a smoother ride, a better experience, and a more pleasant journey. So when you are thinking about things or watching things, because I know they put a lot of stuff on TV. They reel us into those series where there's a bunch of money, people doing illegal things. Because I can't say it on here because I'm always getting restricted. And y'all know what series I'm talking about. P-Valley, Empire, all those series that got good plot lines that draw you in into that low vibe energy. It's still low vibe. Even though you're just watching it, you're letting that into your spirit. Okay? But what is it doing for you later? Okay? Nothing. Nothing at all. So you got to watch even like horror movies and things of that nature. Like I don't watch that paranormal stuff. You be inviting things into your life. Okay? When I was younger, I did. However, it's because there was other people around me watching it and I thought that that was okay. Okay? But as I got older, I was watching more of the wholesome things, even with my grandmom and all of them dramas. Watch what you're allowing into your energy, okay? If you notice, even your demeanor and your body will change when you're watching that stuff. When you at the movies and you watching a horror movie and there's about to be something, what happens? Your heart be like, okay? So think about that. Think about what you're putting into your mind, your body, your ears, okay? I wouldn't let my kids play those shoot 'em up video games for a long time. It took me a long time to let them do that. And they didn't understand it. I just wasn't okay with us shooting, even if it's just a game. I wasn't okay with them shooting other people in the game. It's like, y'all can get the ones where they're doing aliens or something like that. But y'all cannot play them games where I didn't let them play that for a long time. They was mad at me because their friends was doing it. But I don't care. I'm not their parent, okay? I don't live in their household. So, they were mad at me, but they didn't understand that I was just trying to keep them from that violent mindset that we have here in America. I mean, if you think about it, think about the people who do all these school shootings and stuff like that. I bet you they was watching that shit. They was playing that shit. Okay? Where we at? This is also how vibration works and why it matters. The lower you vibrate, the more turbulence and chaos you experience on your journey. And the progress and change you experience are also shorter lived. The higher you vibrate, the more pleasant your journey, and the route leads to long-term and long-lasting progress and change. Vibrating higher alters the trajectory of your life and its experiences. Now that I know better, I do better. These days, I go straight for vibration and navigate and aim higher. Now, this section is called Mind-Body Vibration Connection. Any questions so far? How y'all liking it so far? Okay. Exactly. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thanks for coming on over. All right. So mind, body, vibration, connection. Okay. This is good, great, but it really is. That's why I said I tell people they should get it, even if, we're halfway done, but it will still be a good reference book for you to go back to. It'll really open you up to what you need to do to vibrate higher, okay? When you're living in a way that's more in tune with your personal vibration and what affects it and how so, your whole self experiences greater healing, peace, relaxation, creativity, and clarity. That's so true. Like when, and y'all know I talk through this because I want to give you guys examples and stuff like that, even though we go through. When I was more on a low vibing energy, there was just not a whole, well, I've always had a lot of creativity, but there was not a lot of clarity. There was not a lot of relaxation. A lot of people would tell me, you don't know how to relax, do you? I didn't, because I had 4 kids. I was working probably 2 jobs and going to school. I was here, there, everywhere. I was used to being busy. Now that my vibe is higher, I I bring in what I want. I relax more. I understand more that it's me time, and my creativity has gone up. I've always been someone who's loved to be creative. I've been writing poetry since I was a teenager. I've been drawing little things since I was a teenager. And I've always known that I've had several gifts. But because of the family that I lived in, grew up with, it suppressed them. They suppressed it, because they weren't doing that stuff. They was doing the low vibe and stuff. Okay, I have several family members who were addicted. Okay, codependency was a big thing in my family. Okay, and it was just like there wasn't a lot of creativity unless it came to the holidays. Then there was some type of creativity and stuff of that nature. But I grew up in a family where it was more so about what it looked like on the outside. I tell y'all this all the time, okay? It wasn't about what was really going on in here, although we were growing up in the church. So I was just confused about the whole thing, okay? You saying you believe in God and Jesus and all this stuff, and yet y'all are out here doing this, and that. And then you're surprised when your kids turn out that way? Huh? Come again? I don't understand, okay? So let's get into this. Through vibrating higher daily, you gain more control of your mind and are able to overcome moments that would usually deplete you spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. Through reaching higher vibrations within, you rebound and find your center and your balance much more quickly. Very true. And you function in your power and higher potential more consistently. I can't tell you how true that is. You rebound very quickly from situations that are sent to try to test you or knock you off balance, because you know already that this is temporary, and I need to still continue to live my life. It's just exactly what I'm going through right now. Even though, me and my son are living out of a hotel right now because we're in transition, I have not allowed that to knock me out of my creativity. I'm still producing classes. I'm still writing. I'm still doing my podcast. In fact, we're in a much cleaner place now than we were before. And it's not a bunch of chaos going on in the hallways and all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay. My creativity has boosted. My creativity has come up to a level that I wasn't expecting. I've been opened. And I feel like the move to this hotel has made it possible. Okay. And like I said, even though we're in transition, it don't feel bad. We're both very calm and at peace with what's going on. We're dealing with it well. And that's how you need to be in every season of your life, understanding that it's just temporary, that you may be going through a downtime, and we just see it as a downtime. There is something that you're supposed to be learning while you're in that space that you consider a transition or a desert or a mountain, okay? Remembering the terrains that we talked about in the last chapter. They're not sent to break you. They're sent to make you, okay? Often in my past, a huge sticky place for me was taking things personally. Oh my God, yes. At the slightest offense or disappointment, I'd feel personally attacked, just straight up triggered. I'd experienced such a dip in my vibration that my body would respond with an instant stomachache that could last for days. And if that weren't enough, I'd experience brain fatigue. I just couldn't function right at all. It would wipe me out. I used to experience that as well. Not the stomach aches, but definitely the brain fatigue, okay? But when I gained vibrational awareness, the game changed. I was able to, 1, stop being so easily triggered. 2, not take things personally, and 3, hold my vibration. And that's what I was talking to y'all about. Whatever season you're going through, you should be able to maintain your vibration. I don't care if it's the dip season where you down in that valley and you're alone and trying to deal with something on your own. Keep that vibration high, because a lot of the time you go through the valley much quicker. Not to mention there's something for you to learn in that valley, okay? Or up on that mountain, because usually on in the valley and the mountain, you're by yourself, okay? Um, because most people don't want to deal with you when you're dealing with issues that you got going on in your life, okay? A lot of the time. It's important for you to learn how to hold your vibration. Don't let people sway you one way or another, or a situation that you're going through. It's very important, okay? What you saying? Absolutely now, okay? But I did that one. These days, various types of disappointments no longer produce the same effect and reaction in my mind, body, vibration, and nervous system. They're no longer triggers. Offenses and deep disappointments no longer have control. They no longer have permission to lower my vibration and consume me to the point of disempowerment and impairment. When you're younger and you're not in a space, or you haven't grown up in a family that has taught you how to keep your vibration high and not fall apart when any little thing happens, or if you don't have a parent that you're living with that constantly goes through mood swings up and down and all around, that causes issues for your children later on. They too will not know how to deal with certain situations, and they too will fall apart at the slightest change of something. And sometimes it also has to deal with your sign. You know, all the fixed signs, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, they usually have a hard time with change, okay? However, if you have made your vibration come to a higher standpoint, you won't crash out. Is that what they say now? Every time something small happens to you, okay? You may cry, you're allowed to have emotions, but you get right on out of that and you figure it the fuck out and you move on, okay? There's nothing wrong with having emotions, okay? You're human. You're supposed to be sensitive to stuff, okay? But as long as you don't crash out and your whole life falls the fuck apart just because one thing has fallen off, or you expected it to go a certain way and it didn't go that way, understand that it's not meant to go that way for you. You got to look at it as protection for something to not go your way. The universe knows what you need. God knows what you need. Spirit, source, Allah, Buddha, I don't care who you serve. They know what you need at the time you need it. And you may feel like, what in the world is going on? You may expect something to go a certain way, but God saw what was going to come out of that. So God's like, blah, yeah, no, you can't go that way because that's not even part of your path, okay? What you saying? That's the Taurus. That's that fixed sign stuff, okay? Where was I? Okay. This is what vibrating higher daily can do. It shifts your mindset, elevates your perception, and neutralizes your triggers. Our higher vibration works like a shield. How empowering is that? And while situations may still arise and cause me discomfort or stiffness, I don't stay down like I used to. That's what we were just saying. The shields helps me return to my center and regain my power much more quickly. That's what I was just saying, okay? We're going to start this section here on 91. I feel like we'll read 91. There's a period, and we're going to end. We're going to go over one of the self-assessment or self-reflection questions on 36. And then we're going to end this live, okay, you guys? Effects on the body. Vibration directly affects the body's biological processes and therefore your quality of life. Healthy and high vibrations help maintain the internal energy of the body and its ability to self regulate. Research has discovered that the body heals and repairs itself when it's vibrating at a certain rate and frequency. And it's so true. I've noticed how much more healthier I am as a person who has diabetes and all of that stuff that comes with it than I was when I was lower vibing. Because I'm making better choices, not in just what I eat, but what medicines I decide to use. As I became more higher vibing and realizing that these doctors out here was just trying to keep me sick, I stopped taking their shit. And I started looking into herbalism, which made me start becoming an herbalist. Which, understanding if you do that, we have everything that we need that grows from the earth. Our food can be healing for us. Our herbs can be very healing for us. Okay? Early on, Royal Raymond Rife, wow, say that 9 times, claimed in the 1930s that diseased cells vibrate and heal at certain frequencies. The late pioneer Dr. Valerie Hunt, professor emeritus of psychology of science at the UCLA, extensively studied human energy fields, and Dr. Bruce Lipton has explored the science of epigenetics, so have I, and how our environment affects the cells in our bodies, maintaining that vibrations can alter our health and our biology. It really, really can. I talked to y'all before about epigenetics on a trauma stance, okay? Because I'm studying that, epigenetics and trauma, and I'm trying to get to a point where I can do enough research to get NIH and all the other world organizations to make it okay for people to use their health insurance when it comes to healing trauma on different levels. I have been studying epigenetics and trauma because it's real. You are exposed to, because of your epigenetics, your genetics, your DNA from your parents, to trauma even before you are born. So it's important for them to recognize that. And it's important for them to allow us to use our health insurances to help heal the trauma, which would come into play with a lot of the different therapies that I use to help people heal their trauma. So that's my stance on that. Dr. Hunt performed many experiments on human energy fields and vibrations in food. For instance, in a video from 1986, she showed how a person eating junk food, in a video from 1986, she showed how a person eating junk food radiated a dull and small energy because the foods being eaten were lifeless, inert, and dead in vibration. Another person was filmed eating whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, grains, and seeds, and that person radiated an enlivened vibration because of the higher electromagnetic energies received from that food. And I feel like that's one of the things that they should have done way back when it comes to WIC and all the other social programs, allowing people to buy the nutritious foods that they need in order to vibrate higher. But a lot of us have not been taught that our food, you are what you eat. They say it, but people didn't catch on to it. And then they had that freaking pyramid that was all crazy and knocked out of whack, and people are trying to follow that. And it doesn't necessarily equate to what we need to have in our bodies in order to gain the higher vibration, okay? Would you love to vibrate higher and not feel dull? Eat healthy foods. A sign at the natural market where I stopped stated that, wait for it, only 9% of adults eat their daily fruits and vegetables. 9%. We have to do better, people. Start seeing healthy foods as vibrational energy with superpowers. because that's what they are. So we're going to stop here on page 91, you guys, and I'm going to go on to page 36 to get the next self-assessment question that we need to look into, okay? I hope that you guys enjoyed the readings that we've done today with Vibrate Higher Daily. There's some new people that came in and followed. If you don't have the book, like I said, I got mine from the library and kept it so long they made me pay for it, okay? Don't do that. Go to the library, photocopy, okay? Most libraries will let you copy a certain amount of pages free. So try that if you can't get the book right now, because I understand times is hard, especially here in America and around the world. But I'm just saying, I know the last thing that you want to put on your agenda is to buy another book. Do what you can so you can continue to follow us, okay? And share it in the conversation with us, okay? That's why in the hood, they got all those fast food restaurants around. I was talking about it when I was in the hood, remember? That's why, because they want us to keep low vibing. They want us to keep that grease and that oil and that fat all around us, so we can't think straight, okay? And then you got the illegal prescriptions that are out on the street. I gotta watch what I say on here, but I'm sure y'all can catch on. People doing all that all over the place, okay? Because they want to keep you low vibing. It's all a setup. The system's been set up. Like I tell people all the time, you think they don't have scientists and nutritionists that tell people in the government what people need and what they don't need? They do. They've been doing it for many years. They know what we ingest affects us, and your environment will too. So if you got greasy fast food all around you, you got violence on every corner, and that stuff that they're selling out on every corner, and then what else are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to stay low vibing. And that's why they set it up like that in the inner city. So because they want those people to stay low vibing. They don't want us to be like, oh, I could be a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. They don't want us to do that. They don't want us to go out and think for ourselves, and because they know we'll start a revolution. Okay? All right. They want people to stay, drowned out with the stuff that's on TV, the stuff that we can get in. That's why when you go out to the nicer neighborhoods, they got Mom's Food everywhere. They got Whole Foods. They got all that nice stuff, okay? Because they're like, okay, these are the higher vibing people. So let's, they can afford, they want to afford. They want to buy this. Well, if you put it in the hood, there's going to be people that want to buy it too, okay? But they don't want that. Okay, it's all a setup. It's all a setup. Pay attention, people. Okay, so we're on question 3 on the self-assessment questions on page 36. What choices and behaviors served you well or did not serve you well today or this week? And the week is early. Well, we're in the middle of it. Sunday starts the week. Tell me, what choices and behaviors served you well or did not serve you well today or this week? Somebody be bold enough to answer it. Okay. Thank y'all for coming on in and supporting the live now. I appreciate y'all. That served you well. You did that this week? Good for you. Hey, Tori, thanks for coming on in. Longer meditation and prayer time has helped me. Good. Okay, good for you, Jay. I'm glad. Okay, because that does serve you well. Okay? Because it's time to leave it behind. Let the past stay in the past. Okay? Not worrying about other people's problems. That's right. You can't handle theirs and yours. What you gonna do? Okay, don't overload yourself. Okay? Getting rid of old clothes and organized. Yes, yes. I'll tell you that When I used to do that, I don't know why, but it would brighten up my whole energy. Like you feel like a weight has been lifted when you declutter. Um, that's why me and my son only brought electronics with us, the clothes that we really wanted to bring. Like we minimalized everything, and that's how I like it. It stays cleaner, and you can find everything right away. You're not, oh my God, where is this shoe at? Oh my God, where is that dress at? You're not doing any of that because you have less. There's no reason to have so much that is disorganized. You got tags on stuff hanging in the closet you ain't never wore 'em. You done bought it a year ago and it's still hanging in there with the tag on it. Go take it to somebody who can use it. I always tell people, go to the shelters. Take it to the shelters because I've lived in a few. And a lot of the women and children and the men, they need stuff. They need stuff because they usually lose everything. I've lost stuff like 3 times. All of our stuff. We only had what we had. But I know that that was God's way of saying, this ain't the road and I don't want you to have this stuff. Taking it away from me, the stuff that I did not need, okay? Just overdoing it, all right? Making sure I wake up and talk and pray to God so I can vibrate higher in my day. Good, good. Showing appreciation as I open my eyes. Very good. We normally eat at home, but just grab something quick. Not going to do that again. I heard that. Because then you can use that money for something else. But also, that them fast food restaurants is such a trap because none of them is real food. None of them. Okay. Good, good. Okay, good, good. Absolutely. I'm a lot deeper than people think I am. This is a safe space over here too. And basically it's part of Social Seeds podcast was a part of my Blossom and Grow nonprofit. Okay, and I'll speak more on that later. But I do want to end this very shortly, you guys. I appreciate y'all participating, coming in, answering the questions, even if they're uncomfortable, because I feel like the more transparent that we are as a collective, the more we realize we're more alike than we are different. Okay, the world, the society has tried to pull us apart from each other so that we don't realize that we are so much the same and we want a lot of the same things. They've made us feel like it's a terrible thing to be sensitive or a terrible thing to want to get into a space where you understand things on a deeper level. Okay. Mm-mm. You're amazing. You guys are amazing. I appreciate y'all coming in here. I wanted people to understand that it's so much deeper than the tarot cards and knowing what's going on in the background or knowing what's coming in for you. That's why I started coming on over and inviting you guys to come over here to this side because all of my businesses are about healing trauma. My nonprofit, Blossom and Grow, which is where Social Seeds came from. Um, I've been on here for a while, but I wasn't using it like I should have. And because I was doing the Blossom and Grow, and Spirit was like, people come to you more for the podcast than they do Blossom and Grow. Blossom and Grow is part of the umbrella. It's the covering. But this is part of Blossom and Grow. So that's why I want you guys to understand Blossom and Grow is still around and we are still helping people heal their trauma through different elements, through the different art therapy, the music therapy, the plant and garden therapy, showing people how to grow their own food, to use their own food to make themselves rid themselves of dis-ease. Okay, it starts on the inside out. Okay, and we're more connected than we know, especially through art, music, and food. We love food. Okay, but it's just about the way that you're preparing your food these days and what you choose for yourself that will either help you vibrate higher or it will bring you lower. Okay, think about when you eat that candy that you know you shouldn't have. It brings you up and slaps your ass right back on down to the ground before you know it. Okay, and sometimes even lower. So think about that. We will talk more, especially this summer, about nutrition and stuff. Once I get into a space where I can actually get food and set it out, we're going to do stuff on live. I want you guys to make sure that you check out the different classes that I have available this month, because I do have a journaling class that's going to be coming up this year. I think I did it in May. Y'all can look at it and see. I pinned it to the profile here, and also on the Awakened Empress too. It's different classes. I think I also did an art class. I use art therapy to show people how to heal trauma. All of it is from spirit, okay? So we've gotten these talents already in us. We just have to make them grow, use them to help us heal the therapy. And I want to show y'all how to do that. It's what helped me heal. It's what helped me make that switch. Especially the garden therapy, the plant therapy is my baby. That's why it's called Blossom and Grow, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this live. This will be updated to YouTube, uploaded, and also to my new Spotify. If you don't follow my Spotify podcast, what the fuck are you waiting for? Make sure that you do, because I will be putting everything over there, especially if TikTok goes bye-bye again. We will still have YouTube, and you'll have the Spotify. The Spotify link is in the link in my bio, okay? So make sure that y'all follow over there. You'll be able to see this. Hopefully tonight I'll be able to upload it, all right? All right now. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad that you did. I hope to see you guys Sunday when I do the live for Social Seeds at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, our guest is going to be Tammy Overholt. She's going to be talking to us about billionaire aura and how you can claim that for yourself and bring it on into your energy so that you can claim your birthright. Okay? I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.